In my opinion, Miss Ramsey is a great teacher for a multitude of reasons. She creates such a community in her classroom. Her students feel supported, encouraged, but also challenged. Lack of progress in Miss Ramsey's class is not an option. She tries to meet every individual need of her students. Yes, through IEP goals and 504s and through academic progress, but also leadership skills, communication skills. If she sees that somebody's struggling with their confidence, then she tries to do things to grow them in that way. She's also a great advocate for her students and a great communicator with both her parents and colleagues. She makes sure that her parents know what's going on in the classroom and the progress that her students are making, and any person that walks through her doors will not leave the same.
I have had the privilege of knowing Miss Caprice Ramsey since the first day she came into Fannin County Schools. And there are definitely two things that stand out to me about her being an effective teacher. The first one is her skill set. She is absolutely a very skilled reading and math teacher. I've seen her many times in action. She works well with whole groups, she works well with small groups, and she has lots of opportunities for teachable moments which she capitalizes on. She is a tremendous teacher. The second thing, and most importantly, is the love that she has for her students. Miss Ramsey is a very loving teacher. Although she is a leader among her peers and she does a lot of things well, the love that she has for the kids when the door is closed and she is teaching is far beyond great. It's tremendous. And we are very blessed to have her here at Blue Ridge Elementary.
So what was your best day teaching?
My best day teaching was the first year here at Blue Ridge Elementary in first grade. I had a little girl come back from Christmas break and she hung her backpack up and she said, "Home sweet home." And some of the kids giggled and I went over to her and I explained that's something we say when we've been on a trip and we're back home and we're so glad to be in our bed and out of the car. And she said that this was the best home that she'd ever had. And I realized then that in our four walls, it's a special place to our kids, and some more than others. And that was definitely my favorite and best day teaching.
Okay, what do you love most about your job?
The thing I love most about my job is every day is a new day. I get a do-over every day. It's never the same. My kids get a do-over. My peers co-workers get a do-over. My administration gets a do-over. And it's fun. My kids are the funniest and they're honest, but they're funny. And seeing their milestones every day is my favorite. One piece of advice I would give to a new teacher would be you're going to have hard days, but the kids are worth it. Any time, effort, money you put into your classroom, you won't regret it. The kids are worth it. You'll have days that you're not prepared for from a college class standpoint, but if you look at your profession as a mission field, then those hard days will be easy.
When thinking about Christy Brogdon, it's hard to narrow down just two characteristics that really stand out that make her such a successful teacher. I think the first one is the relationship and the empathy that she has for each of her children. She sees each student as a unique challenge and works to better them in any way that she can. And then second and foremost, she holds them accountable for their actions. While she shows them that she loves them, she still makes sure that they are fully understanding of the expectations and they fully exceed what their full potential is.
What makes Christy a great teacher?
There's so many things about Christy that makes her a fabulous teacher. she always is working to go above and beyond for her students and those who are around her, and making them be the best they can be or do the best that they can. She's always there to show support, encouragement, confidence, and love for her students, even when it's hard or frustrating. That woman loves what she does, and it shows. It's been a blessing to work with her this year, and I've learned so much. And if I could just be half the teacher she is one day, that's all I would hope for.
I think my best day, or one of my best days teaching, actually happened this year. We had a child come to us and he was nonverbal, and he actually sat down after Christmas and read a book to our entire class, and that is just something every teacher wants to see when a child accomplishes milestones that we weren't even expecting. My favorite thing about teaching, and I know it sounds cliche, but it's the kids. I love coming in every single day, and you never know what's going to happen. And I learn just as much from my kids as they learn from me, and just building that community of trust and love with one another makes this job one of the best to have. I think the advice that I would give a new teacher is just to relax and enjoy the journey, because that's what teaching is. It's a journey, and every single day just focus on what really matters, and that's loving the kids and letting them leave every day knowing that they are special, that they matter, and that they are loved.
East Fannin Elementary's Teacher of the Year this year is Miss Kayla Majors. And two things that make Kayla very effective as a teacher is, number one, she is very structured and organized. She is also our SPED team lead, and so she always relays the information to who it needs to go to and keeps us compliant as a school. And so she does a very good job there. And then the second thing is she is very flexible. She is open to trying new things to address behaviors or academic concerns. She took on a class this year that was struggling both academically and behaviorally, and has done a great job with the growth of those kids, both academically and their behaviors. And so Kayla's been a great choice for our Teacher of the Year.
I have known Miss Majors for about 15 years now, once as a former student and now as a current coworker. I can tell you how great of a teacher she is from two different perspectives. As her student, I could tell that she always wanted us to learn more than just what was required by the state. She always took her time to do the little things with us, such as conferencing with us on our writings instead of just writing a grade on our paperwork and turning it in. As her coworker, I can see that her students feel the same love and care that I did when I was her student. Her students now, they need more than just a curriculum taught to them, which is what any teacher can do. They need the love and care that she can provide them. She's a great teacher because she provides that for them.
My best day teaching actually occurred earlier this school year. I had been working with an upper elementary student that was a struggling reader, and one afternoon I was doing progress monitoring with this student, and he had made tremendous progress with his reading fluency. And so I talked to him about his reading fluency score and was just really bragging on him about his progress. And in praising him, I was like, "Where did you learn to read like that? That's awesome." And he looked at me dead serious in the eyes and said, "From you." And I said, "No, you've done all the hard work." And he said, "No, really, Miss Majors, when I came to your class, I didn't know how to read, and you taught me how to read." And that was definitely my best day teaching. What I love most about my job is building relationships with my students and with my coworkers. And I also love seeing where my students start at the beginning of the year, and then the progress that they make throughout the school year,
and where they are when the year ends. One piece of advice I would give to a new teacher would be to build relationships with your coworkers, watch those veteran teachers around you, ask them questions, ask for suggestions, be open to any constructive feedback, and just always be willing to take those professional learning opportunities, each and every one, just to grow in the profession and never stop trying to improve yourself.
My best day of teaching is every day. I just feel blessed to be able to have the opportunity to get to change lives of others every day. I have one particular day where I had a student who always has a hard time. He comes in every day with a negative attitude, and he came into my room one day with a smile on his face, and I was so excited, but I couldn't figure out why. So when he came in, he opened up his pocket and pulled out a little bitty frog and took it, and he said, "You know, we need a class pet." And so I was thinking about that, and I thought that was the sweetest thing, but it made his day all day. And so we put it in a little box, and we made a little house for it, and then when he got back on the bus, he took it home with him. So hopefully that made him happy many more days. So I was excited about that day in particular. What I love most about my job is every day I can come into a workplace and I can learn about new students, about new people, work together with the teachers to find common interests, and also to find hidden talents of others that many people can't find. I find it a challenge as a teacher to find embedded talents that some students don't even really know about. If I could give advice to a new teacher, I would tell them to never give up. There are always challenges. There will always be challenges every day. No day is perfect. However, if they come in with a positive attitude every day and smile anyway, there is always some student around the corner or in the classroom that needs that smile. So if, any time that we can make someone happy or make their day better, we never know when, never know who. And also, I think that every second of every day has to count in order to find those talents of others and to just make every day the best it can be.
In my opinion, Mrs. Jill Abercrombie is a great teacher because she brings the perfect recipe for learning to her classroom. Jill starts with a positive classroom environment, ensuring that she makes her students feel comfortable and accepted. She then adds her belief that all students can find success at school and works to highlight each student's strengths while helping them improve upon their weaknesses. Jill helps each student grow in confidence and ability by providing high standards. By the end of the year, Mrs. Abercrombie's students have attained academic growth, and in doing so, their self-esteem soars. Finally, Mrs. Abercrombie provides the perfect balance of motivation, accountability, and love for each and every one of her students. Ultimately, Mrs. Abercrombie's unique recipe for learning culminates in putting each student's needs first, and that is what truly makes her stand out as a great teacher.
I can't say enough about Miss Abercrombie and the things that she does in her classroom to make her students find success. One of the things that really stands out to me, however, is the way she loves her students. She encourages them, she finds out special things about them, and she really finds ways to make them feel special in her classroom. They work hard for her because they know that she wants them to be successful. Another thing that really stands out to me about Miss Abercrombie and the way that she encourages her students to find success is that she meets them where they are. She knows their needs, she encourages them, she finds out special things about them to motivate them, and she goes out of her way to find their strengths and help them use them in her classroom to be successful. She is truly an amazing teacher.
You know, when you think about Miss Rose as a teacher, you're always impressed with her content knowledge, but the two things that make her extra special, one, her absolute refusal to give up on a student. I have witnessed many times her literally working with a student right up to the final second to make sure they graduate or to make sure they pass a class. She's always been willing to go that extra mile. And then the second thing is her compassion for students. She understands that students have many things going on in their life, and that's why she's always been willing to go that extra mile. So, you know, I've been so impressed with Miss Rose over the years and how she really has a great deal of compassion for her students and an absolute desire to see them graduate and be successful.
What really sets Christy Rose apart from other teachers is that she loves kids. I got in contact with one of Christy's former students, and this is what this student said. Mrs. Rose is the reason I graduated from high school. She helped me pass AMDM, but she also helped me through one of the worst times in my whole life when I lost my mother. She was there to listen to me, and she was there to encourage me, and she told me I could do anything I wanted to do. I'm a wife and I'm a mom now, and I just want Mrs. Rose to know how much she inspired me. I love you, Mrs. Rose. We love you, Christy. We're so proud of you.
My best day teaching is probably graduation. I always enjoy watching my students walk across that field and receive their diploma they've worked so hard to receive. It's just wonderful to see all these students, how happy they are that day that they have fulfilled the goal they wanted to meet with their family. And I just think it's the wonderful day to be a teacher that day. The thing I love most about teaching is working with students and watching them learn. I have taught math and English for many years, and I just love watching kids blossom in their learning and being able to help them achieve the goals that they want to in learning. My advice for a new teacher would be to have patience. Teaching is not a perfect science. It's basically learning as you go, because you have to learn how to adapt with your children. You learn what works and what doesn't work. So patience is something you have to craft your job into the perfect job.